time. Hi, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of our LinkedIn Masterclass. So if you remember last time, what we did was we went through and we looked at optimizing your LinkedIn profile. I broke the trainings into 2 separate sessions just because today's one is all about Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator. And that's really a big session unto itself. So we'll probably be going half hour, 40 minutes, I think, because I had to break it out. But before we begin, I'll just do a quick recap on what we covered last time. So if you hopefully you saw the Masterclass Part 1, and if you haven't, it is available on the Fintech Circle website. So yes, so what did we cover? Okay, so last time we looked at your profile. Actually, I'll share screens and I'll just look at my profile and I'll use that as the guide. So I'm going to start sharing screens. Share. So you should be able to see my screen now. If I was just go to my profile, I just want to double check. Stop sharing. You are sharing screen. Yes, brilliant. Oops. Yeah, so what we looked at was, first of all, just as a quick recap, this big space at the top is really your huge advertising space. So get a good message in there. For mine on here, I've got fill your pipeline in 90 days, fintech marketing made easy. So we talked about getting into Canva and creating a nice big banner that says who you are and what's in it for your target audience. The next thing we looked at was optimizing your headline here. So rather than it saying Glenn Burgess, CMO at Fintech Circle or owner of Power New Media, instead it's got a sales message that talks to our ideal client. So in this case, it says, I help fintech startups leverage LinkedIn in order to double their sales conversions in 90 days or less. Yeah. So we looked at that. And then we talked about the profile in general. And the next bit was we talked about, because if you remember, there's no point doing all the tactics and all the strategies I'm about to show you with Sales Navigator if when somebody comes to your profile, you're not talking to them. Yeah. So, and one of the big parts of that was the next bit where we have our featured section. And the featured section should really be a capture device. So you should be driving them to a place where you're giving something away for free in exchange for their email. Or it might be a value add blog post. And we went into how you go in here and how you actually can add either a post, you could add a newsletter now, add an article, or add a link to your website where you have that capture device, or a video. Even a video would be amazing. So that was pretty much everything we covered. And then the last section was we sort of deep dove into those capture devices, et cetera, et cetera. So today, without further ado, we're going to get in and we're going to talk about Sales Navigator and how to use Sales Navigator to find your ideal customers so that you can start driving them into that pipeline. Okay, so what I'll do first of all, I just want to do a quick, here's the difference between normal LinkedIn and Sales Navigator. So this is my profile, as it were, normal sales, because I've got Sales Navigator, it sits over here, but let's say I just wanted to go in, I wanted to search for, I don't know, let's say I'm looking for building companies because I've decided I want to sell into building companies. So let's go builders, actually. Let's type builders. I'll type builders and I'll get my search results and it shows me all these people. So I'll just go here for people and see where it says here, all filters. These are all of the different things that I can add in for my search results in normal LinkedIn. This is where Sales Navigator comes into its own. So Sales Navigator, I want you to think of it really as almost like your sales assistant. On the first webinar, you would have heard me refer to it as, it's like a stalking tool for sort of stalking your ideal clients. And we talked about account-based marketing rather than going out en masse. What we want to do is be laser targeted to target in on our ideal client. So if I was, after builders and I've searched for people here and I've got, 751,000 results globally, which is quite interesting. But, I want to narrow that down because I'm actually in London. I'll just do this first. Are you going to do that for me? Come on. Oh, there we go. Show results. We'll get it down a little bit lower. 13,000 results for builders. But the going back to the filters, these are all the filters I can find people that I'm connected to or that somebody I know might know. That's what a second connection is. I can put in locations and add locations. That's great. I can put in hashtags that the person might talk about. I can even add in, I could search for a company, like, I see Selco there, but if I wanted to search Selco, I could. And there it is. But what I'm trying to show you is, if it comes back, thank you. These are the all of the filters that I can apply. Yeah, language, certain things. Sales Navigator, on the other hand, gives me a whole lot more. So more filters, you can get super granular. So you saw what that was. Yeah, so we're here. If I go to Sales Navigator now Sales Navigator, as I say, is really like, think of it as your sales assistant. Your sales assistant. It costs, it fluctuates because of the pound changing up and down, but usually $79 US. Unless you're doing it en masse with a giant team and you can get discounts, but you can sort of say roughly it's about £50 per month. But if I came in here right now to using Sales Navigator, and we'll start with search. Actually, pause. Actually, before I jump straight into Sales Navigator, I just realized I'd like to do a quick poll. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I'd like to do a quick poll. How many of the people online were on the first webinar and have actually actioned one of those things? So Arden is in the background there. Arden, could you run that poll, please? There we go. So I see on screen, I see how many of you have actioned any of the advice and best practice points from the first session. I'll submit as well. I've done my header. I've done my headline. I've got a featured post. I'll submit. And what are the numbers we're seeing? So about, okay. So the results are coming in. What do we see? So 22% of you have done your headers. I'm very proud of you. 50. Oh, it's going up and up. Well done. I'm actually really, really pleased to see that. So, because I thought, maybe some people have just come to this webinar and they weren't on the first one. So I'm really, really pleased. I have to say, a good 50% of you nearly have updated your headlines, and a third of you have actually added a featured post and the caption device. So that's super great. And about 20%, I'm rounding up, have done your header graphic. Remember, if you want to do that header graphic, go to Canva, canva.com. Canva, it's really easy to do. It's really easy to do. So do it because it's great advertising space. It's one of the first things anybody will see when they land on your profile. Okay, so without further ado, back to Sales Navigator. So let me just go in here and let's pretend I searched for builders now. Builder. I search again. Give it a second. This is going to be, by the way, this is going to be very hands-on. So I've paid for Sales Navigator. Here I am. Actually, this is the homepage you'll first get. Because I use it, I've got stuff happening. So I'll review that. The homepage, basically, when I said it's a stalking tool, you can save accounts and save leads. An account is a company that you're following. That's what an account is. It's a company that you're following and tracking. So you want to get notified when they post anything, when they hire people, when they're growing, all sorts of stuff. Leads are individuals, and you can save leads into lists. Yeah, so just remember that accounts are companies, leads are individuals. But this is the home page once you paid for it and you've got it. So I'm getting results because I obviously use it. But let's pretend I went in there and I did builders or builder. I'm going to do builder. I immediately search and I get over 1 million results. Obviously, that's globally. But if you actually look here now, if I go on an account level, so you couldn't do this on where we were on normal LinkedIn. So I only want to target building companies or builders, who have a revenue of over, £1 million. No, we'll say 500,000. I want them to be scaling up. 1 million, 500,000 to 1 million. Add. So I can filter that. You can do company head counts. You might be thinking, I don't want to work with startups with 3 people. I'm targeting businesses with 11 to 50 people. So you can do company head count. You can look at headcount growth. I'm looking for businesses. I'm looking for fintechs that are scaling up fast. So I might, so you can see what you can do. You can go the growth of the company through headcount. Obviously where they're located. I'm definitely going to go. What am I searching? I'm searching builders, so I'm going to go. I want builders in London. Include that. Minimize it. You've got industries, and you can start typing away. But yeah, you've got all of these different things. So at the moment, I find it a bit hard to believe. Big building companies, and based in London, there's only 112 results. Seems a little bit small, but see here, a builder might have put he's a construction company. They might say they're a loft conversion company. So you can just keep adding words and things. So you need to add quite a few. So anyway, so we've got industries, as it were, number of followers. That's really an indication of what sort of a thought leader they are, how often they're posting on LinkedIn, things like this. But spotlights is really good. So we've got recent activities. And it's giving me senior leadership changes in the last 3 months, or if they're trying to raise funds and things like that. And if I click here, oh dear, you'll see all of the different. So, actually, if I make it marketing, because marketing's my area of expertise. If I go marketing companies, here they are, 5,000 plus at that size, based in London. But even here, look, if you look at here, technologies used, let's say I'm looking for marketing agencies that use HubSpot as a CRM. You see how that's appeared there? So I'm going to go HubSpot Marketing Hub. Now I'm down to 634 results. So yeah, so it's key takeaway here. One of the first things about Sales Navigator is it allows you to get far more granular in your searching. That's one of the great things about Sales Navigator. So if you know who you're after, and if you're on the first webinar, which I believe most of you were, we talked about gorillas want bananas. Who's our silverback? Based here or based in America, this amount of turnover, this amount of staff, this industry, blah, 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 all these different things. But then we get lots and lots of results. Now, why don't I put in Fintech for fun? Seems a bit more relevant, doesn't it? And there's Fintech Circle's very own book appearing in here, and the Fintech Times, I see. But what I can do is a lot of these first one. Okay, Storm 2. I know Storm 2. That's a recruitment agency for Fintech. What I can do is, let's pretend that looks good to me, as it were. Look, that's how much they're turning over. They're growing. Got a lot of employees. Golly gosh, it's staffing and recruiting. Pretend that's what I'm doing. I can basically save that company, because I went and looked at there before I do that. I'm going to go and view them. I look at Storm 2 and I've decided, for some reason I'm after fintech recruitment companies. Here's an overview that's just taken from their profile. But what I can see here, and this is another one of the great things that you can see in Sales Navigator rather than normal LinkedIn, is it shows me who the tier one are, the sort of the C-suite or senior decision makers. And I can save Ashley Griver. Sorry, Ashley. I could save Ashley Griver, or I could save Liz Dawson. And every time they post anything on on LinkedIn, I will get notified, and I'll get weekly or daily alerts, whatever they're doing. Why would I want to do that? Well, like I say, Sales Navigator is your sales assistant. So basically, if you want to approach somebody, one of the best ways to approach them is sort of say, hey, I see you just posted this, or hey, that was a fantastic article you just did about blah, blah, blah. So if this isn't the spammy, I'm sure you all through normal LinkedIn, you're being inundated with these automated connect and pitch. If you're on the first webinar, that just doesn't fly. It doesn't work. I get like 70 to 80 connection sort of requests per day, and it just doesn't work. What does work is knowing exactly who you're after, using Sales Navigator to find them. Like, if I'm targeting, I've decided Storm 2 is a target lead for me. And then find the decision makers, and I basically say them. So I'm gonna save him. Doop. He's saved. Doop. She's saved. So what does that mean? Now when I go to my homepage for Sales Navigator, and this is somebody, Peter's awesome. Peter was at Fintech Connect last week with Friends for Life. It's got an incredible company called Real Time. They're basically just changing the face of international payments, real Web.3 stuff. I'm following him. So what I see is every time he posts or does anything, you can see here, 6 hours ago, he posted this. So I can see that and I can go in there. I'm not stalking you, Peter. I'm just using it as an example. I can basically get in there and comment on that, say, hey, mate, this was amazing, blah, blah, blah. I said I was going to teach you about cadence. That whole connect and pitch does not work. So what we do is we find our ideal targets by using the advanced search features of Sales Navigator. We start stalking them. And then we start commenting on their stuff. Look, Peter's been over here, and yesterday he apparently viewed my profile, probably because I was liking his stuff. We comment on their stuff. You want to, if they post something of interest, you want to get in there, like it, share it. People love people who share, but say, hey, that was a really fascinating, insightful article you wrote. I found blah, blah, blah to be hugely insightful. What you want to do is actually start commenting, sharing, so they get to know you. Because whenever somebody does that, they pop up. Who's that Glenn? Who's that Glenn? Who's that Glenn? I go to a lot of events, like at Fintech Connect, or even last night I was invited to a Masterclass sort of event, and I take lots of photos. I immediately connect with the people who are at the event, share the photo that we took together. I'm not going in cold trying to sell a product to them. I'm just trying to connect so they know who you are, develop some sort of relationship. Because if you remember the first webinar, do you remember the dating metaphor where it was like people who sort of connect and pitch? It's like walking into a bar, walking up to every girl, for me, going, will you marry me? Will you marry me? Will you marry me? Just walk up to a straight, will you marry me? Doesn't work. It's weird. If you did that in a bar, somebody would be like, huh? Who are you? What you do, remember, is you connect with somebody, you have a conversation, you go on some dates, you take him out to dinner, and then at some point you propose down the line. So yeah, that whole connect pitch, don't do it. Use Sales Navigator to find your ideal targets to start. The next part I'm going to show you is how you save lists and create lists and all this. But you find your people on the home page. Whenever you come in here, you're going to see the people that you've saved, what they're doing and what they're up to, as it were. And you can just go in and view those things. You can do it on, remember I said accounts were company level, like here's SFC Capital. That's a company we work with at Fintech Circle. They posted an update 10 hours ago about this. Ooh, interesting. So I might want to go and see that and comment it. So I can do it at account level, company level, or I do it at, so let me take that out, take out accounts, or I do it at lead level. See up here again, accounts and leads. So if I go, leads is people. Thank you very much. And you delete it there. And accounts is companies. You've got that. Awesome. what I also want to show you is if I went accounts, I've got this drop down filter here. So I want to see if they're growing, if they're taking on new staff, if they've hired new decision makers that I need to be advised on, any latest news or updates. And actually, what's really neat as well is a suggested lead. So let me just nope. It's not going to work on that one. I'll come back to that later. Actually, one of the very first things you'll do when you get Sales Navigator is you do this. You basically set a bunch of preferences for the alerts you want to receive. And how you do that is you go up here to your profile, whoop, go to settings. I'll share this in a Word document after the webinar. You go to settings. Yep. And then it is sales preferences. So you can see what I've got set here already. So I could take these off. So when you see yours will be blank. Look, I like you so much, I'll ruin mine. So yeah, where do I want to be notified? Okay, well, I like working one-to-one with business owners in London. Check. The industry, fintech, check, done. You click done down here, just so you know, to set it. Oops, something went wrong there. Let me do that again. Fintech. I could add financial services. Hey, LinkedIn, you naughty thing. What are you doing? Actually, it might be. Sorry, I have to do it. I have to do financial services. My error. Done. That's better. Company size. Let's say I like companies that are growing. Actually, I like both of those. Done. Etc. 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 And that one I've already got set. And business owners, CEOs. Let's see, CEO. C-suite. Come. Yep. Why have I done that? That's basically what it's doing is telling LinkedIn when I come to my home page, and there's all sorts of settings here. Go in. If you take Sales Navigator, you can go in and have a good old play. But one of the first things you should do is show me these types of companies. So I'm looking for financial services companies based in London at that sort of size, owners and C-suite. Interested in this sort of stuff because then when you see your home page, go to home, it'll show you these are priority accounts here. These are ones that I'm following, but it'll actually show you examples. Does that make sense? It'll actually show you companies it's recommending, as it were, based on those search criteria. And the more you sort of click on and look at it, this is where the algorithm kicks in, the more you look at ones that it recommends and save them and add them into your sort of hit list, as it were, the more the algorithm is learning, oh, Glenn likes these sorts of companies. This is what they look like. And the algorithm gets better and better at giving you good suggestions. I just want to see what my bookmark alerts were. Yeah, so step one, step one, go in there to settings. Oh, settings. Get out of there. Right, and set your preferences. So that's sort of step one once you're in. Having done that, then you'll have something in your home page. As I said, I've already shown you how to do search. So that's good. And as I say, accounts, you've got leads. So the next thing I really want to talk about, actually, no, it's a good time. Let's run a poll. I'd actually like to know how many of you are actually using. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. How many of you? So Arden in the background, could you run the poll too? Which should pop up on the screen, I'm hoping. Poll 2, it's coming through. Interestingly, it didn't pop up on my screen. That's okay. We've got one person who is using it. No, here we go. Let's have a look. I'm aware of it, but haven't jumped. So, the questions where I am using it, I'm aware of it, but haven't jumped in yet. That's probably why you're on this webinar, because if you were using a lot, you probably wouldn't want to be on the webinar. But nobody says no, but I'm thinking about it. So 50% are using it. 50% I'm sort of aware of it, but can you teach me how it works? Which is what the webinar is all about at the end of the day, isn't it? Okay, cool. So I'm going to start sharing screen again. Sorry, everybody. Back into my list. Okay, so now I need to explain. Okay, so we did a search, didn't we? We got a bunch of results. So let me go get back to home. Let me conduct a search. I'll do building. It's obsessed with builders. Okay. Value Builder Certified Coach. Okay, pretend I've gone here and I've decided, oh, here's an InsurTech. I'm going to take that instead. I don't know. Oh, Venture Builder. Yeah, on that note, it's probably worth pointing out, if I was to type global account manager, it will take that specific search, just so you know. So if I went, pretend I'm looking for marketing managers, if I type global marketing manager, it will do that exact search exactly. So sometimes you might go marketing managers, or you might just go marketing. So you try lots of different search criteria in order to get the results that you want, and filter down, as we know over here. But what I want to do is show you as well, you can actually save your search. So if I just add in my London, obsessed with that too. Here we go, London. Just so that you don't have to do it. And again, company headcount, check. You can save your search. So this is builders in London 1 to 10. So I can save that search, name it appropriately. Builder. Oops, naughty thing. What are you doing? Builder. London 1 to 10. Let's just say, just name it now. See here where it says alert frequency. You'll receive weekly emails about new results for the save searched. So if a new builder came onto the scene in London this week, I'll actually get emailed that, which again is another great thing about Sales Navigator. So I can keep getting notified. So you'll see here this is at lead level, individuals. That's where I saved that one too, because I was in lead. It could have been under companies, accounts, yeah. You'll see here under accounts, I've got a previous one, Fintechs in London. Because the search term, this is a previous search, so I don't have to type it in all again. And it's really helpful if you're going to go, fill in all of those filters and see all filters, because there's quite a lot you can fill in. So save your searches, and they live under here where you go saved searches. Click there. Here they all are. I see Fintech Week London, which we're a big part of at Fintech Circle. So I might just go and have a look here and show you when you're looking at account level, which is what this one is. We talked about our tiers, who the decision makers. There's Raf. Hi, Raf. I will actually save Raf because I want to know what Raf's up to. I want to be notified when Raf posts for sure. He's in charge of Fintech Week London, the primary organizer. Lovely man. What we can see is I can see all the decision makers. See Jason here as well. And we can see, what's happening down here. The employee count. How many they got? Up just below 7. What's happening here? So go through in your own time. I don't want to focus too much on this, but certainly if you're looking for a job as well, it's a great tool for that. But account alerts, recent, see this? All account alerts, recent and important alerts related to Fintech Week London. So again, if I want to be notified every time he's posting about stuff because I want to like it and share it and I want to develop a better relationship, we're already tight through Fintech Circle. But that's where I would see all of this. Yeah. So that's what I sort of say. I'll wrap it up a little bit. Sales Navigator is an awesome stalking tool. Yeah. You create lists you do searches, is the first thing. You do searches. You then can organize those searches. So again, I'll go back to leads. I just do it. So you're just really, really clear. This is just something I was slapping together just when I was practicing. So David Haynes, awesome dude. The account is Steel Eye. When I was looking, I just saved him into this list. And this list, in this case, was called possible clients. You can have lists, people you're going to be targeting in Q1. These are all people who spoke on a panel I did recently. So if I just went here, just so you get a sense of it, there he is there. That's not him. He's obviously got a graphic for himself. Good on him. But I've got him saved, so I could unsave him. I'll just unsave so you can see what happens. When I'm looking at him in Sales Navigator, I can save him, and then it will sort of say, where you get what list do you want to save him to, and I'll save him to. Let's just pretend, what do we do? Q1 2023 outreach. Now he sits in this list. So that's the organization sort of component of Sales Navigator. So far we've covered advanced search. You can get super granular. Yep. You end up with a giant big list of people. You go through them. Like if you've got a giant list, you'll go even more granular. But basically then you sort them into lists, as it were. Then you start following them, meaning getting alerted whenever they're posting, whatever they're doing, etc., etc. The other thing that is actually quite useful here is say this is David. I could add notes. It's like, he was on my panel at Fintech Connect. We took lots of photos. I'm going to share all the photos with him, so you can sort of keep notes. And just be clear, they can't see any of this. This is just for me, sales notes and things like that. I've added into lists, etc., etc. The next thing I want to look at, as I look at my notes, the next thing I sort of want to cover is messaging. Yeah. Now, I'm going to share with you a lovely little swipe file. That whole, hey, I'm Glenn, we do this. Let's connect. Like, do you want to buy my product? Doesn't really work. And I really highly recommend you don't do that. I have created like a cold LinkedIn message swipe file for you that I'm going to share. So I'm going to run through these. So when you have found somebody and you are going to connect, this is a cold message. But what I really recommend, remember, is that you like, comment, share their content, start building a sort of so they're aware you're on their radar first. So do that like sort of 2-3 times. Then you might outreach and sort of say, hey, now, so these are the sorts of types you can do. Yeah. So, a friend in common is a very common one. Because when you're looking at a profile, so if I went here to Peter, within Sales Navigator, I can see the relationship. And apparently we both know Dan Andrews as an example, and 13 others. So we go and have a look. Interesting. These are all the people that we have in common, which is quite interesting. So you just go through that list and see if there's somebody that you're really close to that can do an introduction, as it were. That would be really, really good. So, but here's a sort of fill in the blanks template I've got for you. Hi, always use the first name. It's nice to meet you. I saw that we're both connected through, person, and I wanted to reach out. Seeing that you're also, and here's what it's about. You've got to make it as personal as possible. The more personalized and real your connection is and the way you outreach, the better it will work. Connect and pitch does not work. Looking at a profile, liking, sharing, seeing, being really laser targeted with who they are and what they're doing, that's what works. So we've got the sort of friend in common one here. Groups, oh my lord, groups are fantastic. If I jump back into, well, if we just do Fintech Circle as an example. Fintech Circle, I think we're up to, let's have a look. Whatever industry you're targeting, one of the best things you could do is go and find groups for that industry. We're looking at Fintech Circle here. Here we are. We're up to 43,000, and it's growing and growing. It's fantastic. Anyway, what I was showing you is find groups. It's a tactic. Find groups that your ideal client would be part of. Join those groups, because certainly, at the very least, it allows you to do that. Hi, my name's Glenn and I work at Mount. I see that we're both members of this group, and I noticed that, and again, but here, see where it says, I noticed that you had some pretty insightful comments about. Find something they've commented on. And remember, you can do that now because you're using Sales Navigator. If you just have normal traditional LinkedIn, you've got to work quite hard to see stuff individually that people are talking about. If you have Sales Navigator, it gets delivered into your homepage. Yeah, does it make sense? So that's why I say a Sales Navigator is your sales assistant. It's an awesome research tool. It's an awesome stalking tool, and it allows you to connect with people in a much more relevant way. Yeah, so group connections, join groups, and then, so I'm going to share this swipe file. I won't go through them all, but one of my favorites, a little bit of flattery. Flattery goes a long way. Show your appreciation of the work somebody else does. Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've been following your work with, for some time, and I was really impressed to hear about something notable that they've just done. Like I met Peter Ling last night, big head honcho sort of at Mastercard, but they're doing this, they're doing events and everything else. So I was going, hey, wow, I really appreciate being invited to the event. And if I had something of use to him, and now that he knows me and he likes me and we've shared photos and things like this, maybe he is open to having a conversation. I'm not trying to sell to Mastercard though. Yeah, so I'm going to share my swipe file with you as well. And I think really, like I say, this second masterclass, we're already 40 minutes in, was really just because I couldn't do both the front end bit for capturing conversion and also show you Sales Navigator in itself. In summary, it's a fantastic stalking tool that allows you to connect, find your ideal clients, follow them. My success formula is to like, comment, and share. Then do outreach, but make that outreach super personalized and relevant. Definitely. The next thing I'd also say is this. One message will never do it. Don't be shy. If you outreach and you don't get a response, don't take that as a negative. Just continue to like and share and stay on their radar. And have a follow-up sequence. I always go with the fortune. Here's my saying, write it down. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, because I want to see you as well. The fortune is in the follow-up. The number of times people have outreached, and it was a little bit connect and pitch, so I had no interest, but they've actually been quite the tenacity the tenacity. And then at some point they've said something relevant, or they've liked and shared something of mine, and then suddenly I do give them the time of day, and we can have and we book in a meeting. I really want you to know that, look, people are busy and life gets in the way. Just because somebody doesn't respond to you immediately does not mean that they're not interested. I would say at least 8 touch points, 8 to 10 touch points. And as you know, we always promote omni-channel, meaning you basically want to touch base with them on LinkedIn. You want to be getting their details there, get their email. If you can see a number, drop them a text. Try to touch them, follow them on social. Omni-channel marketing. But yeah, don't be shy and take a non-response as they're not interested. Listen, I get 70 to 90 sort of messages a day on LinkedIn. It's about breaking through the noise. If you want to break through the noise, you need to be memorable, it needs to be personalized, and it needs to be relevant. Something I just off the cuff, actually. Just off the cuff, I'll show you something. I'm back to sharing. This is a little bit. My screen is sharing. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but video landing page. So just so you know, at Fintech Circle, we bring professors and banks and all this to London, give them this amazing tour of London, the fintech capital of the world. But as part of our outreach, one of the messages is sort of like, hey, watch this video to learn more. And so they land on a landing page like this, where it's all about the fintech tours. And we have Suzanne actually in video just telling them what's in the tours, why it's so great, and everything else. So I sort of show that. I'm going to stop sharing. Because it just popped into my mind, because when I was just sort of saying, there we are. You need to be memorable. You need to break through the noise and all this sort of stuff, and you need to be tenacious. Whatever you can do, whether it's sharing photos of them because you met them at an event, whether it's sending them to a landing page where there's a real personalized video telling them everything that's in it for them. Yeah, whatever it takes, really. Just touch point. I'm sure in the first one, I explained, hey, it's about building relationship. We don't believe in marketing. We don't believe in selling. We're always selling the medicine. You've got a solution to somebody's problem. They need to hear about it. But your biggest enemy is, too much noise, too much clutter. You've got to break through that, present the medicine to the pain they have. I really hate mass marketing. I hate spam. I don't believe in it. This is real laser targeted stuff. So I will share the templates and I'll share the recording after this, but we're coming up to the 43-minute mark. And I think we'll just go live with the last poll, actually, which is, Arden, if you could please share the last poll, which really is, do you think, I'd love to know how many of you will actually take action and actually start using Sales Navigator. I think it pays for itself. Like I say, it's only 50 odd pounds. Where are they? I can't stop. Here we go. Will you start using Sales Navigator? I already am, so I'm going to say yes, submit. And so the numbers, let's have a look. How many of you are actually going to start using it, or maybe? It's okay to say maybe. There's no problem there. Oh, yes, 4. Thank you. That's good. 100%. 100%. I don't blame you. I would definitely use it too. Hey, and one last little special bonus because you're here on it. In webinar number 1, LinkedIn part 1, we explained all the benefits of joining Fintech Circle, which I will recap. You get a profile. I'm going to do the sales pitch because I've got a special offer for you. Here's all the benefits of joining Fintech Circle. We have a reach of 216,000 when we put stuff out into social, etc., etc. 216,000, as you saw, even in the LinkedIn group, there's 42 odd thousand or whatever number it is, and it's going up and up all the time, let alone all the Twitter, everything else. We make films, we have the books, we do webinars, we do these educational events. When you join Fintech Circle, join the inner circle, and it's only 65 quid a month. It's nothing. It's less than having Sales Navigator. When you join Fintech Circle, you get access to come to our events, our exclusive members only events, and we do webinars for only for members in more detail than this one. When you join, your profile goes into the website. We do a blog post about you. You go out in the newsletter. You go out into the social. When I said I met Mastercard last night, I was actually invited by a member of Fintech Circle called KYP. But whenever KYP do anything, we share it on the network. We put out their press releases. Yeah, if you want to amplify your reach, or you want to break into the UK market in a fast and effective way, I highly recommend joining Fintech Circle. And if you join between now and Christmas, Suzanne is agreed to, we'll actually go through and work one-to-one with you to actually optimize your profile, create a lead magnet capture device, update your profile, and actually give you a whole bit of one-to-one hand-holding on Sales Navigator to actually teach you how to do it. So it's just a sort of a one-off offer. It's a very special thing. Just between now and Christmas, if anybody joins Fintech Circle, you get to work one-to-one with me, as well as all the benefits of being part of the inner circle, as it were. And there are a lot of benefits of being in the inner circle. So yeah, that's it. If anybody wants to ask any questions, I think the next 5 minutes, feel free to throw any questions into the Q&A if you'd like to. It's in the right-hand side. Oh, somebody is. Go forward. And actually, what I'll do too, I was going to say the handouts. I can actually add the handout, add a handout. You know that cheat sheet? I'm just going to add it right now. Browse files. You know that cold outreach? I'm just going to share that right now in the handouts window. He says. Cold outreach templates. There you go. Upload. There you go. In the right-hand corner, in the right-hand column, you'll see something called handouts. That cold outreach templates Word document is there. I'll still send a link on Google Docs as well. But wow, if you can probably see on the screen, you'll see that special offer. A free one-to-one LinkedIn profile optimization and hand-holding to set up Sales Navigator, settle your preferences, figure out who your ideal client is. We will do all of that. And but that's if you were to join Fintech Circle. Just go to the website, fintechcircle.com. It's only 65 quid a month, as I say, which is less than I pay for my email marketing software ActiveCampaign, would you believe? Okay, right, we've got some Q&As. Let's have a little look there. Hi, Patrick. I'm loving it. I love it. Love it interactive. Hello. Since you say we should use 8 to 10 touch points, yep, at least, more the better, is there any automation for sending the messages? Yes, there are lots of automation tools. That there definitely are. If you just even go out and search LinkedIn automation, you're going to find a whole bunch. I'll be honest. I mean, you can do it that way, but it's the automation tools that lead to all that spamminess. Because when it's automated, it's not following a sequence. It's just an automation. It's not. Yeah. So if you want, what I'll do is, if you like, in the follow-up email to the video, I'll put a whole link to Canva, to the templates we shared in both webinars, and I'll put a link to the automation tools. There's all sorts of neat things like Octopus. I've got a good friend who actually has his own one called Funnelin, is another one. But the automation processes, is what's made LinkedIn so spammy. I don't believe you need like 10,000 clients, especially if it's in fintech. I'm showing you account-based marketing where it's very personalized and very one shot, one kill. We're going after the silverback. Yeah, that's spam. You'd be lucky if you get 2%, but you're burning 98%. And I just don't believe in burning 98% of my potential clients. If a customer is worth reaching out to, I think it's worth doing it one shot, one kill, bush. So yeah, but all the automation tools are there. I haven't covered automation because I'm not a big fan of it. Something else that I haven't covered that exists for LinkedIn is LinkedIn pods. So when you post content, because that's what I really also recommend, I talked about it in the first webinar, sharing valuable content and being seen as a thought leader is like one of the best strategies you can do. What's a LinkedIn pod, Glenn? I hear you ask. A pod is where you have a group of people where you share each other's content, you like, comment, share, and it's about sort of not tricking the algorithm, but showing the algorithm, at that initial posting that what's going on is useful and valuable and people like it. So there's all sorts of strategies around pods, automation and messages and things like that. So I'll share some links to those things so you can learn more and read more about it. But Glenn personally is one shot, one kill, super laser targeted, add value, not a big fan of spam. Not that I'm saying you are saying spam, but that's what the automation tools are really for. They do save time, but actually at a company like Business Mobiles, where we had a CMO there for a period of time, we had 60 sales guys. We taught all the sales guys to use Sales Navigator, 60 of them, and they're doing the outreach and sharing all the stuff themselves. And that's actually way better than automation. Yeah, but happy. Anybody else? Any other questions? Feel free. Now's the opportunity. Happy to answer it. Otherwise, we'll wrap the webinar up. Yeah, I'll give it 2 minutes. Yeah. Thank you for the question, though, Patrick. You're awesome. I appreciate you asking the question, my friend. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, I think that's it. I think we'll wrap it up now. Like it's oh. Hey, Patrick's back. Thanks for the honest answer. I'm very interested in the answer formulations, but can't see them under handout. Very interested in the answer formulations, but can't see them under handout. Can you please upload them again? You mean the Word document or answer formulation? Huh. In the Word document? It should be in the Word document. Don't worry. Anyway, I'm going to share the templates and everything else to both webinars. I'm going to put into one big Google document and share all of them with you. So don't worry about that. But thank you. Yes, the Word document. Was it empty? Was it? Oh, that's a bit weird. That's strange. Don't worry about it. Like I say, I'll share the Google doc with you anyway, because that's how I was originally intending on sharing it after the webinar. Thanks. You're awesome. Love the interaction. All right, that's it. So thank you, everybody. Like I say, I'm going to send a follow-up video to the webinar. I mean, the webinar is evergreen if you want to go back. And as I say, if anybody does join Fintech Circle between now and Christmas, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. We'll pimp your profile, optimize your profile, and we'll set up all those alerts and laser in on who your ideal target is. And I'll help you one-to-one. So there you go. I can't do more than that. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. An absolute pleasure. And we're going to end the webinar now. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you at the next event at Fintech Circle. Take care. Bye.